Get me ready for Florida. That thing tells the temperature and the wind speed right behind me.
Of course it does.
And the news.
Nice.
And it tells how many days till the podcast cruise.
Nice.
And it tells how many Twitter followers and Instagram followers and Facebook fans we have.
That's exciting.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you get that for Christmas?
I used some of my Magic for Less bonus for that.
That's nice.
It was compliments of Pam Forrester and
there you go.
And the ladies, because I'd never buy something frivolous like that, but I did. Okay. I've always wanted it though.
That's awesome.
Yep. It's pretty fun.
That's really cool.
All right. Let's get a question.
I guess, are we live now? I guess.
Yes, we are.
Yay.
All right. Here we go. So listener questions. This is Expo Day. 2217. Make sure I got the levels right because I got all jacked. Yeah, that's good enough. 56 will work. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2217 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. And happy Expo Day to all the Be Our Guest podcast listeners who are congregating down at Walt Disney World as we speak. That's right. Marathon Weekend 2023 has arrived. So first of all, the Lizards have to merch up, as they say. So we'll see you over at ESPN Wide World of Sports. This is going to be my first experience with the virtual Expo thing, and I will tell you what, I've already reached out to let me give you a little behind the scenes here. Travel agents at the Magic for Less reach out to other travel agents at the Magic for Less. I just reached out to one of our awesome agents, Michelle, who's out in Pennsylvania, big Steelers fan. She was telling me about her experience with the virtual queue for the merch. Got me a little nervous, I gotta say, but if I get a jacket, I get a jacket. If I don't, I'm $80 richer. So that's
there you go.
So you gotta look at it that way. So we're gonna have a good time. I'll hanging out at the expo today, getting ready to run 5K in the morning and get things going for the Dopey Challengers. We'll get out there, and for the folks just running the 5K, we're gonna have a good time with you, and just safe travels to everybody down. Hopefully we all get there today safe and sound and get ready to eat and have some fun and have some fun in the theme park. So we are gonna have a good time today answering your listener questions. We're going to have a new countdown, too, as we move from now till July, 180 days from today. Be Our Guest Podcast cruise coming up at you.
Nice.
On the wish. 180 days, half a year. We're so far out, only 180 days from now. We're going to be getting on the ship together, sailing to the Bahamas to Castaway Key, having a blast. So get ready for that. So joining me today to answer your listener questions. Haven't heard her for a little bit, but we're glad to have her back. Ricky from themouseforless.com. Happy New Year, Ricky. What's going on?
Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be here. Can't believe we're in 2023 already. I mean, craziness. And it is Marathon Weekend, and I'm sad I will not be there, but it is such a fun weekend. I always get sad around this time of year when I'm not there, and I see all the great, posts and tweets and everything coming out from all the Lizards, and they have such a great time together, and it's just, I'm cheering you guys on in spirit. I miss the fact that I'm not going to be able to be out there cheering this year again. It's so much fun to be able to do. If you have a free moment and you can go out there and cheer one of the days, whether it's, any of the days that you can cheer. And it's such a blast to do. I'm telling you, like, there is nothing like it. It's tiring. It's exhausting. But it's even for us. I mean, I know we're not running, I get it, but it's so much fun to be able to do. So it's a blast. So I hope you guys have fun. Go cheer squad, go. And it's going to be a great weekend, and I'm going to be following along for sure.
Okay, a couple of housekeeping tips. If you're going to take your pictures over Marathon Weekend, which you will, you'll get lots of pictures. Please hashtag those, hashtag run BOGP, so we can all find each other. It's kind of like seeing everybody else's. So hashtag run BOGP. And also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BRGuestMike, but also follow our Instagram page. We have a podcast Instagram page, which Ricky updates while I'm down there. It's at BRGuestPod.
Yes.
Our Guest POD. So follow that. And also there's a little, if you're watching live here on YouTube or Facebook, if you ever watch the videos, we have a new thing here in the studio that if you follow, it updates the numbers right here live on the
Nice.
video. So that's for the podcast Instagram page. So
Nice.
we're one shy of a big number. So I want to see if
Ooh,
updates here during the show. That'll be kind of fun over
that's
my
awesome.
shoulder. So I'll try not to be distracted. But yeah, I can't wait to get out there, have fun, and we'll see how this year goes. This year I'm more nervous than I've ever been because I'm undertrained, and we'll see how things shake out.
Well, as Brian has always told you, Mike, there's no shame in quitting. So
you know me, dude. I am not a quitter. They'd have to take me out on a stretcher before I quit. That's not in my DNA. All right. First question says, listener question, non-Disney adults on a Disney cruise. And it's from Amanda in Southern California. She's only 23 miles from Disneyland. Man, I'm jealous of that. 2,493 miles from the Magic Kingdom. She says, hello, BOGP crew. I was talking with my neighbors the other night about cruises. They'll be celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary this year in 2023 and are considering going on a cruise to celebrate. They like the idea of an Alaska cruise, and the wife mentioned a Disney cruise, even though they aren't Disney people like at all. I've never been on a cruise, but try to give my best advice based on what I've learned from listening to the podcast. I passed on the Magic for Less website and your names, since y'all are the experts. My question is, first of all, that's all great advice. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that so much. She says, for two adults who have no interest in the Disney side of the cruise, what would be the benefit to sailing Disney over other cruise lines? Is there a benefit? I look forward to going on my own Disney cruise with the family, hopefully sooner rather than later. Thank you for all that you do for us Disney fans. Sincerely, Amanda. Okay, so I thought this was kind of interesting because you and Brian have been on many Disney cruises without kids. I mean,
we
this
have
change soon, but give some advice there. The non-Disney fan kind of worries me because while Disney's very subtle, I think, except for obviously the shows, there's Disney characters on the ships. I think that, it's not as in your face as like staying at All-Star Sports or say Pop Century or, what have you, of being in the Magic Kingdom.
True.
It's subtle, but if there is Disney. I mean, it's a Disney cruise ship.
Yeah.
The horns play Be Our Guest and, when you wish upon a star. But I don't think it's intrusive. I think it's it's hard to describe, but I mean, there's Disney everywhere, but
but you have to know what to look for. Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of interesting because I agree with that. Like there is Disney all around, but it's exceedingly subtle. Some areas you may not know that it's Disney, that there's a Disney character looking right at you, in the ironwork or whatever, in the artwork or something along those lines. But I mean, there are Disney touches all around. I mean, obviously, like you said, the shows were the first thing that I thought of. I was like, oh, well, probably not. They may not enjoy the shows because they are, like the theater shows because they're heavily Disney. But yeah, I think that, I think everything else is pretty good, all things considered. The food is really good. I mean, of course, it depends again on which ship you're on too, because with the food, there are shows that take place during that too. So, Animator's Palette, you have Crush on some of the ships, or they have the Frozen show on the Wish. So it really depends on like, are they wanting to not have any Disney on their cruise at all? If so, then maybe they would choose a different cruise line. If they're okay with having like a little bit of Disney fun while they're on their cruise, then I feel like that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I think personally, like it's great. I love Disney cruises. I think that they are fantastic without kids. I think they're fantastic with kids. You don't see kids running around like everywhere. I mean, they have the kids areas, which, I mean, usually Disney tries to do a really good job of keeping the kids areas contained so that, the kids do have a safe place to go. So, I really do love cruising on Disney Cruise Line. And I think it depends on how much they don't want to immerse themselves in Disney. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a balance with them. And, there are other cruise lines, I know, surprisingly enough, that, may be better for them if they don't want like that Disney feel. It just depends on how much they do or don't want Disney in their vacation. And I
But
can't answer that question personally. They have to know. You know what I'm saying?
just and know that Disney's a premium cruise line. I mean,
It is.
it is you're paying premium prices to go on those ships. It's going to be the Wonder sailing to Alaska in the summer, and I will say that there's less kids on the Alaska runs than the
True.
Bahamian and the Caribbean runs. So you have that going for you if you don't want to be inundated by kids. And it's one of those things. Obviously, a Disney cruise line does not have a casino.
Right.
They use that space for other uses. So I would say, probably give it a shot. But I mean, if the Vegas type feel of a ship is something you're looking for, maybe look at Royal Caribbean or Princess or
Right.
something like that. So,
Yeah.
but it's a good question. I mean, because there are differences, but
Oh yeah.
obviously Disney fans are nuts for the ships. I mean, it's a virtual, just beautiful place for a Disney fan, and non-Disney fans can enjoy them. It just depends,
Yes.
if it's going to bother you that, oh yeah, I can see Mickey Mouse in the railings, like, but I don't think
Right.
it's really going to bother anybody,
No.
but again, I'm coming at it from a guy who makes his living,
It's
working
true.
for the mouse. So, okay. Next question says, a question for my February trip. It's from Kevin. Happy New Year, BOGP crew. What, in your opinion, is the best standard view room at the Polynesian? Our current request is for a third floor, try that again, third floor Rarotonga building. Saw good fireworks view from that building. However, there's so many considerations: proximity to the restaurants, pools, monorail, walk to the TTC, walking distance to the Magic Kingdom, fireworks view, etc. We really enjoyed walking back from the Magic Kingdom last year to our resort, the Grand Floridian. I do like the fact of being able to also have easy walk access to the TTC to hop on the monorail to Epcot. Appreciate any input you have. Thanks, Kevin. All right, so let me just give my feedback in general on room requests. This is what I tell everybody at the Magic for Less. There's two schools of thought you can go at this. One is the Len Testa / unofficial guide method of looking at, they have all the room views online. You can check those out and you can put a room request for, say, like block, room 6,400 to 6,420, south facing, blah, 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 in Rarotonga. You can, third floor. You can be very, very specific. However, that does, I mean, if they nail that, that you're going to get, what you're getting if you actually get that request. However, I tend to go from the school of thought, and we're going to actually talk about this Friday. It's going to totally blow this out of the water. But when I make a room request, what I do is I just ask for what I'm looking for. So I prioritize what I'm looking for. Do I want something that is closest to transportation? And I just say that. Can you give me a room that is closest to transportation? It'll save me the most amount of steps getting from my room to a bus stop. Or I want to be as close as I can to the feature pool. Even if I'm in a standard view room, I know I'm in a standard view, but can you get me as close to the feature pool as possible within my room category? I give the leeway to the cast member to get creative because they might see inventory that I'm not thinking about. If I just look at that block of 30 rooms and they're all taken because somebody's doing a long stay, they're blocked out, blah, 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 then their hands are tied, then you might end up, in Timbuktu. So, like I like to give them what am I looking for, and know that they're the experts. They're working at the resort. This is what they do every day, all day. And that hopefully they can use a little common sense and get me pretty close to what I am looking for, because this is their job. So that's kind of how I go for it. I prioritize, and I don't give more than three things. I'd like to have a room that is close to the food court, something that relatively close to transportation, and maybe close to a quiet pool. That's okay. That's gonna be kind of hard because they might be in three different places, but I do, and then I just say, just do the best you can, because you can't get everything right. Anything else you've ever done in the past, Ricky?
No, I never ask for room requests, actually. I just always kind of take what they give me. And I'm, I agree with you in the sense of, some requests may be polar opposite of each other and you may not realize that. If you say, I want something close to transportation but also close to the food court,
Right.
in most instances they are similar, but in some instances they're not. And if you say that, then they're going to have a really hard time deciding, okay, well, where do we put this person? So I would pick your top one, like maybe one or two, but I would, if you have like one thing that like is super important to you for a specific reason, go with that one. And then, you can go from there. But I honestly, I've never really been disappointed with where I've been put in a room. Like even the furthest out rooms. It's not hard, it's not a long walk usually for me or whatever. So I don't know. I just usually take what they give me. I've never really put in a room request, actually, to be honest. So
Right. And I'm going to talk about that on Friday. So I'm going to
Yeah.
leave that one there. Okay. Drew's got a question. It says, Bon Voyage at Trattoria al Forno. He says, Mike, Happy New Year's. I know you're gearing up for a race weekend, but I wanted to see if you've heard any news about when they'll reopen the Bon Voyage breakfast at Trattoria al Forno. That character breakfast was one of my absolute favorite meal experiences. I can check the My Disney Experience app to see if it's back, but thought you might have someone on the inside that knows something about it. Thanks for always brightening our days with your podcast. Drew's out in Lee Summit, Missouri, out on the west side of the state. Ricky, you're the go-to. So have you heard anything about the frying pans and Rapunzel?
I have not heard anything about the characters themselves returning to Trattoria al Forno. Now, the breakfast has returned. I mean, they do have the breakfast options available, but they just don't have the characters there. And honestly, I've heard some scuttlebutt from the past. It's not the best place for characters, if you get my drift. So I don't know if they actually will be bringing them back. I guess time will tell. They're slowly bringing back different facets of different meals that they're bringing back the buffet option at Chef Mickey's here soon. So we've got that. Akershu's just reopened recently, so you've got that. So they are doing little things. So you may end up seeing that Trattoria al Forno will come back as a character meal. I haven't heard anything solid as of right now. So if you still want to eat there, you can and still have a good breakfast. You just may not see characters.
Yeah, that is a good breakfast, even without the characters. I like that restaurant in general. For breakfast and dinner. Good option. Couple things about the boardwalk. Okay, so everybody knows I like my crumb cake the Boardwalk Bakery, not the Boardwalk Deli. They also now have it at the Carousel Cafe, which is inside the Boardwalk Inn.
Yes.
It used to be that little sundry store there right off the lobby. Not the most decorative place, but and it's called the official name of it, if you're looking for it, is called the New Jersey Crumb Cake, and it was $3.99. Apparently, since we've all started buying it, it is now $4.29. So it's
okay, all right,
so,
all right.
But still a good deal, and still
a good deal.
Snack. So check it out. I'll be checking that out here this week. Some New Jersey crumb. I saw one blogger kind of say it was dry or something, but I'm like, get out of here. That's fine. Keep saying that because that's more for me, buddy. That's good. Whatever. And speaking of the boardwalk, tearing my heart out to see those pictures of ESPN Club, man. Oh, I know that cake place is going to be the jam, but man, I mean, during bowl season of all times, I mean,
maybe not for you, but
open heart surgery, like during a certain time, like, I mean, it's college football's greatest time, and they're just ripping down like the place where I've seen so many great sporting events.
Sorry, Mike.
ESPN, what are you doing?
I know, but it is going to be a great place to go. Maybe the complete polar opposite of what it was before. But
and Charles Barkley, terrible.
It's definitely going to be like the complete opposite of what it was. But I think it'll still be a really nice place to go, and it'll
terrible.
Sorry, I there's really nothing to say because it's not going to appeal to you. I have a feeling like it's not like the only thing that you're going to enjoy may be eating a slice of cake.
I will like the cake, but I'm telling you what, right here in the studio, I'm watching the Citrus Bowl, and it is 62-7. The SEC is just putting a whooping on Purdue. I mean, I could do that. I can't do that at the cake shop.
I can watch
somebody.
I can guarantee.
There will
not be a TV at the cake shop for you to watch any kind of bowl game. So
I can't watch LSU just dancing in the end zone. I mean, there's nothing like watching LSU fans at Walt Disney World. I mean, like, they should have a show just like, especially during Mardi Gras, just like LSU fans in gold and purple. I mean, like, there should be a parade every day. Just like, if you're an LSU fan, you're in the parade. We're gonna all march down Main Street. If you're not from Louisiana or an LSU fan, you stand on the side, you watch the madness, because LSU fans are the greatest. Like, they'll talk to you on the bus, they'll tell you all about their towns. I love being there with LSU fans, because I mean, I'm not a big LSU fan, but one of my former students is a coach, so now I kind of watch them and cheer. But oh my gosh, LSU fans during Mardi Gras, that's a thing that they need to make happen. A parade every day at the Magic Kingdom. just LSU fans. Greatest thing ever. That'd be something like for Six Flags, but it'd still be awesome. Anyway, Andrew, happy New Year to Andrew. He's been with us forever and haven't seen
Gotta
him for a
love
while. So
Andrew.
good to have Andrew. What's your favorite 3D show in the parks, Ricky? He's asking. What do you got?
Oh, that is a tough question because, okay, I mean, I'm cheating. I'm sorry. Of course, it's Muppets because Muppets is classic. You cannot go wrong with Muppets. I mean, yeah, Waldo's a little annoying, and I don't love him that much. But yes, okay, he's a lot annoying. But the rest of Muppets is great. Like I love that. But I have to say, this last trip that Brian and I took when we were down there at Christmas, we went and see Mickey's PhilharMagic, and I'd seen it, but I'd forgotten that they'd put in the Coco scene. And that is really a nice addition to Mickey's PhilharMagic. And the best part is Disney actually made an attraction longer by adding the Coco scene. So who knew? And I feel like they did a much better job. Like I feel like the characters look better. I always kind of joked that, when they got to Aladdin, they kind of stopped drawing because his face was kind of like flat. He actually has a face now, which is nice. So I really, really, really think that Mickey's PhilharMagic is a sleeper right now, and so I'm gonna throw that out there as like an honorable mention. I mean, I know there's not that many 3D shows, but
yeah. Okay, so
cheating.
Real quick, just break. So I do have the game on mute here. LSU just destroyed Purdue. So they just dumped it. Sponsored by Cheez-Its. They just dumped the coaches over the the big thing of Cheez-Its over Kelly's head.
Oh my gosh.
He channeled Les Miles, one of the former coaches, reached down and just scooped up a thing of Cheez-Its off the turf and just.
I'd eat Cheez-Its off the turf. Let's go.
I would too. I love Cheez-Its, but Les Miles, their former coach for LSU, used to eat the grass off the fields before every game. He would just pick up grass. He would even eat AstroTurf. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. LSU fans are the greatest, even the coaches. I mean, LSU is just a different thing. It is
okay.
Anyway, back to mine. I was gonna say Muppet Vision too, but I will go PhilharMagic just for the fact that I remember when Mallory was little. Every time we watch that show, the part where the Little Mermaid comes out and the jewels pop out, like she would always reach out for that. And still, like to this day, even though as we're recording today's her 15th birthday, happy birthday, Mallory, and happy birthday, Kim Taylor, who's with us. Hers was yesterday. She still like reaches out as a joke at this point, but it was the cutest thing ever as a kid. Like she thought she was going to touch those things when she was.
I always love hearing the kids in the audience when Tinkerbell shows up on the screen. Oh my gosh, they all lose it when Tinkerbell shows up. Like you just hear, oh my gosh, Tinkerbell! Like you just everywhere, all around you. Yeah. That's great.
All right, let's get to a question here from Mary Jane. She says, "Hey, Mike and Ricky, taking my daughter for girls trip only. Martin Luther King weekend for Festival of the Arts. Planning to also hop to Hollywood Studios and the Magic Kingdom. Trying to make it special for just the two of us. Just the two of us. Let's see. I can't help it. Made our favorite breakfast and dinner meal Made our favorite breakfast and dinner meal and looking forward to activities at the festival, but anything special you can think of other than the rides." So here's the thing. This is a trip where I'd make sure you have Memory Maker purchase because, Festival of the Arts is going to give you tons of opportunities to get great pictures, and there's going to be photographers around Epcot to get pictures. And I mean, just, this is going to be a special trip because it sounds like this is our, mom-daughter trip. So I would definitely get Memory Maker. I mean, because, again, my kid was just 2 yesterday and she's 15 today. Like, oh man, I thought I had enough pictures, but all of a sudden I'm like, God, in 3 years she'll be 18. Like I can't wrap my head around that. It's making me almost cry right now. Like pay for the Memory Maker, get all the pictures, shoot all the video because it goes too fast. That's what I'm telling you, Ricky. I'm telling you.
I know. I don't. She doesn't say how old her daughter is, so
doesn't matter. Mallory.
No. I get that. I get that, but it just depends on what I might suggest as an option. But I know they're gonna do some things special for Festival of the Arts. Maybe to make it special for her, let her. There's some very expensive artwork. There's some very cheap artwork. Maybe let her pick out a piece of artwork that's not so on the expensive side that she can take home with
She's
her.
11 years old. We got a little follow-up.
All right, that's good. Maybe let her pick out a piece of artwork so that she can put it in a room or something like that. Again, maybe not like the most expensive piece of artwork, but just something kind of nice for that. The thing that it's not for this festival, it's the festival, it's the Flower and Garden Festival. The thing that I always like hem and haw over is they have these little bitty topiaries that you can actually like buy and take home and then kill, because that would be what I would end up doing. But I like always like look at those topiaries. I'm like, I really want to take one of these home someday. And then like, I just don't, because I'm like, I know I'm going to kill it. So a piece of artwork.
I would if I wasn't flying. Like if I was
driving.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm driving. Obviously I'm driving. I can take that sucker home.
There's no way you could get that sucker home. Like,
no.
Bonsai tree or something.
No,
it'd be cool if I got an office now. I'd love to have a bonsai tree. I'm just getting more junk in here. Like I got a lava lamp. Do you know I have a lava lamp?
I sell the lava lamp. Yeah. No, I got it. Trust me. You should see the room that I'm in right now. It's just literally filled with Disney junk. Not in a bad way, just filled. And it has no organization, and I desperately need help. But anyway, that's beside the point. You could also, obviously one of the big things is to let her plan the day. Let her plan everything that you guys do on one of the days. That's always a great option as well. She's 11. I would say, maybe like I would say like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, but I think she's just getting to that point where she might be a little too old for that. So
what about at Festival of the Arts? They do the cookie stroll for
the holidays. It's a scavenger hunt with Figment.
Yeah, that kind of.
You could do that as well, which would be a lot of fun. And they have a prize at the end of that too. So that would be a fun thing to be able to do. And it's fun to go around all the different countries and find Figment in all those different places. And I think this year they may be bringing back for the Festival of the Arts the ability to draw the Animation Academy. I think I remember that coming back this year. So hopefully that is, because that would be a lot of fun to be able to do too. So
all right, next question. So we'll try to get in a few more here before we got to wrap. Marty says, do you have a favorite place to eat off property, eat like a local that is near Disney? Yes. It's called Taco Bell.
No, stop. Don't.
There you go.
Don't do that to people. Please don't do that to people.
You can't go. There's a Chick-fil-A right outside the Animal Kingdom exit down by Coronado.
Yeah, there is. There's lots of great places.
No, there's the Orlando Ale House. That place.
There is that.
That place
yes.
is super good, and it's right off property. It's really fun for cast members.
This is such a hard question for me because, like, obviously I know quite a few places that are off property. My brother actually just told me about a place called Colby's Southern Kissed Chicken. He said that was really good. I'm not sure where it is. I haven't been there yet. But
we just need to know who kisses the chicken.
Yeah. Colby. Colby's Southern Kissed Chicken. He says it's really, really good. He's been there. He also, I know that we've talked about Portillo's before. That's
I forgot about Portillo. And there's a White Castle now too.
There is a White Castle.
Solid.
Yes, there's a White Castle. Gosh,
Portillo's is so good though. You got to get the dog, or you got to get the roast beef sandwich. The Italian roast beef is so good. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like where else I go off property. I usually don't go too many places off property to eat. There is if you are so inclined and you want to do it, there is a Gideon's off property. It's in Orlando though, so it's kind of a drive. It's like near downtown Orlando. I haven't actually been there because every time like I have a plan to go there, then something goes wrong. So, but if you don't want to wait in like a 4-hour line, that would be the faster option to go to the actual Gideon's over there. I know I've eaten at a few places recently with my brother too. We ate up. I wish I could remember the name of the place we ate at for his birthday. I can't right now. So, but yeah, there's quite a few great places that are off property that are really good. So.
My favorite place to eat on all Florida, though, is over in Titusville, over on the Space Coast, Dixie Crossroads. Oh man, that place was so good. I've been there in years. Though.
We just ate it at Christmas. We just ate at Waffle House.
Hey, Waffle House.
There is a Waffle House right outside of Disney property. It is packed all the time. I will tell you that. Like, it is. I think it's like the only Waffle House in Orlando or something, and it is like always packed. So.
Yeah, scrambled, smattered, and splattered.
And we waited about 45 minutes for a table, and it's an old school Waffle House too, like the kind that hasn't been updated. It's got the brown, it's got the brown floor tile, like it's an old school one.
Only kind, it's like the one in Bridgeton, right by the dump.
Yeah, there you go.
So next question. Is from Kirsten. She says, hello there from Utah. My family will be visiting Disney World for a once-in-a-decade trip for 12 days from late January into February. It's a bucket list item for my dad to see the electrical water pageant. How do we do this? Our travel group is my parents, myself, my husband, and our 2 kids. They're 2 years old and 9 months old. I want to make this happen for my dad, but figuring it out has been more complicated since I'm trying to figure out how to successfully pull it off while hauling my 2 kids around past their bedtime. Therefore, I'm looking for options that are a short wait time before the parade and minimal travel time if possible. We're staying on site, Pop Century / Caribbean Beach, and we'll be relying on Disney transportation. Super easy.
Yes.
Schedule an ADR for dinner one night at a monorail resort. I mean, you could do Steakhouse 71. That's a high recommendation. You could also do something like Trails End over at Fort Wilderness. That'd be a less expensive option. The kids are like that because you can let the kids go out and run around on the playground. That's what my kids always did while we were waiting. They could burn off some energy. You could do places like Kona Cafe. You could go to Captain Cook's and get dinner over at the Polynesian. You go Gasparilla's, or you could sit down over at Grand Floridian Cafe at the Grand Floridian. Just schedule it for, a later dinner and then just ease your way out to the beach and watch the parade.
There is one thing. It does have set show times. So at each different resort. So when you want to figure out which resort to go to, I think that you really are trying to look for what time to go outside to look for the electrical water pageant. And there are set show times. The best thing that I can suggest, because it doesn't even have like the set show times on the My Disney Experience app, which, you'd think would be helpful to actually have like what time it hits, the Polynesian and what time it hits the Grand Floridian and things like that. But just go and ask, at the front desk, and they should be able to help you with what time specifically to kind of mosey your way out there. Because that's going to be the only like real help that I can give you as far as that. It says right now, it says that it runs from 8:25 to 10:30, but that's all around the lagoon, and that's each it has a different stop along the way, and so it stops at a different time, and you don't want to be out there at 8:25 and be the last stop at 10:30, so you definitely want to make sure you ask at the front desk what time the electrical water pageant will be at that destination.
Yep. It's worth it though. Your dad will love it. You'll love it. Any kind of a Disney fan, like it's just, it's going back in time. It is so old school.
You can also see it outside the Magic Kingdom as well. So if you really didn't want to, go to one of the resorts, just ask at guest relations at the Magic Kingdom, and they might be able to help you as well.
I just think being in a resort, like with dinner, is just easier.
Yeah, no, I absolutely
just chill, because like on the beaches, there's always like swings, and the kids can play or run around, and
you'll have, at the Magic Kingdom, you'll have all of humanity with you basically as they're leaving or whatever. So yeah, I agree with you. I would say definitely consider a restaurant, but yeah, just ask, and they'll be happy to help you.
All right. This next question says, listener question, should I splurge? I think it's actually a follow-up. And it says, Mike, I loved hearing the answer to this question. I had the same initial thoughts. So what was the question here? Let's see if I can go down, because I wanted to share this. Let's see. Okay. So anyway, it says, I loved hearing the answer to this question. I had the same initial thoughts as you regarding the price, but I'm glad you both decided that I had to keep this reservation. I've prepaid for the breakfast and looking forward to surprising my husband. To let him in on the surprise, I even made this note from Cinderella on Cinderella's stationery. I'm going to have it printed on nice paper and put it in an envelope and act like it was delivered to our hotel room and let him open it and read it. Obviously, since he's an adult, I'm not fooling anyone, but it'll be more fun than just telling him we're going to have a breakfast in the castle. That's right. She asked if they should do breakfast at Cinderella Castle. Okay, that was it. Thank you and Scotty G for the encouragement. I think it'll make for a fun surprise. Best, Olivia. So I thought I would see if I can pop this up. So I'm just going to share this because, again, I'm super not creative. And when people share creative ideas with me, I get super pumped and I want to share this with our audience because this is the kind of stuff we all live for. So it says, and it's like super fancy. Like, I mean, it looks like something you would buy, like when we bought our wedding invitation, this looks like a wedding invitation.
Nice.
It's like a crown on, it's got like a fancy border. It says Cinderella. Okay. So it says, to the new Mr. and Mrs. It has come to Her Majesty's attention. Why am I talking like this all of a sudden? That you are visiting her kingdom while on your honeymoon. To celebrate your recent nuptials, Her Majesty Cinderella wishes to grant you a rare glimpse of the inside of her castle, an honor she reserves for only her most special of guests. You are cordially invited to dine for breakfast in Her Majesty's castle on the morning of Friday, January 20th. A seated breakfast will begin promptly at 9 a.m. Yours, Anastasia, Lady in Waiting.
Wow.
It's so fancy looking. I mean, but I love that because like it's going to be a great experience, but the experience now extends like to the whole like opening the envelope and she's all excited to give it to her. This is great. That's why I had to share it.
That's amazing. I love that. That's awesome. That's so good.
That is super cool. Okay, so last question of the day, and it is coming from Ashley. It says, hey, Mike and crew, I have 2 questions for my upcoming trip. One easy, maybe, and one hard. Easy. Can you still get the peanut butter and jelly shake at the Tune-In Lounge? I've heard you talk about this for 2 years, and I need to try it, but don't want to have to eat at 50's Primetime Cafe because I'm a counter service gal.
Oh, well.
I don't
First of all, you're missing out, by the way, on not going to 50s. Let me just tell you, it is a fantastic meal, even though you're.
It is. It's a great meal, but I don't think you can get it at the Tune-In Lounge anymore. They've done us wrong, at least right now.
No, I know you can get.
I've heard.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I was gonna say, I know you get alcoholic drinks there.
Ben Lappin got me one because he was sitting down. That's the only way I could get one time.
Gotcha. Okay. I know you can get alcohol at the Tune-In Lounge now. But I don't know if they're doing like to-go drinks.
Here's my advice. It never hurts to ask. You never know if you'd be the 1 in a million that somebody slide you one. So I would always ask, but I don't think they're doing it.
Seriously, definitely consider going to 50s. I mean, I know you say you're a counter service kind of girl, but I mean, 50s is so much fun. Like it's really, really a blast. So
great.
Try it.
Great. And chicken. And here's the difficult question. I have 5-day tickets. I have 6 days in Orlando, but one of those days is my arrival day. I get in at 6 a.m. after flying all night. That's right, because Ashley's one of my guests at the Magic. Let's guess where she's coming from. Fairbanks, Alaska.
Okay, cool.
Kind of a longer flight.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yes.
And she says, I like the idea of a rest day midweek. So I would say so. So she's got A, B options here. A, go to the Magic Kingdom at park opening on day 1. Come back when my room is ready for a nap and go back out. This gives me a non-park day midweek. Or B, hang out at Pop Century until my room's ready, take a nap, and do some resort hopping Disney Springs on day 1. This means I have no break midweek. I know neither choice will be super fun after flying all night. In case it helps, I'm horrible about taking midday breaks. I tend to go all day and I'm exhausted by the end of the week, which is why a midweek break might be nice. I've never tried it before. Thanks for your advice. I'm looking forward to this trip. I love to escape the harsh winters in February and excited to see Festival of the Arts for the first time. Ashley from Alaska. Okay. Ooh. I'm definitely A, and here's why, which was the option to just go to the Magic Kingdom when you get there. When you get the text to go back to Pop because your room's ready, boom, then you crash, take a nap, and then that's gonna and then go back out that night, and then that'll give you the midday break later in the week. Okay, because here's the thing. Even though you're going to be tired, when you arrive, you get a surge of energy and you're excited. You got adrenaline happening. So you can kind of, get a little bit out of your system, 3 or 4 hours in the Magic Kingdom. You get that text around lunch, maybe have lunch at Columbia Harbor House or Cosmic Rays or Pecos Bills or whatever. Go back to Pop Century, get into your room, get settled, crash out for 4 or 5 hours, then go out that night. And then later on the week, you got a down day to just chill out and just relax because you're going to need it because you're going to be catching up from a lot of time zone changes. That's what I would do. Ricky, what about you?
Yeah, usually when I go on trips where I have like giant time zone differences, I usually still go out and, do things. That way I get acclimated to the time of wherever I'm at. and my body can adjust a little bit more. So usually I'll go out and try to do some things for a few hours. And then I will go back probably a little bit early in the afternoon, evening, and then just hang out the rest of the night. That way, like, I can get some sleep or whatever, go to bed early at that point, and then wake up in the morning, and try to be refreshed, and then take your break in the middle of your trip. I think that's going to be better for you, to be honest. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for today's show. Thank you for the great questions. You have a question, send it my way. It's Mike at BRGuestPodcast.com. Just put listener question in the header there, and I'll go right into the queue to get on the show. And also, you can join us usually on Mondays around 5:30 Eastern on Facebook and YouTube as we record live, and be a part of the show. We love having our audience. We get live questions right there. We get feedback from the listeners. It's great. So join us for that. This week, though, I'll still be at Marathon Weekend coming up. So 2 weeks. Join us for that. Okay, so it is time to remind you of our awesome sponsor. It's the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out over at themagicforless.com for all your awesome Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trips. Shout out to Michelle, who's covering for my guests as I'm down at Marathon Weekend this way. Also, Kathy as well. They're awesome, and I appreciate them so very much for letting me run my hopefully 48.6 miles. So again, shout out to Michelle and Kathy over at the Magic for Less for making this possible for me. So thank you for that. And don't forget, as you shop online, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons who support the show each month over there. Our patrons get that bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. If you'd like to join us coming over, patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Please do follow me on the social media this week. I'll be posting like crazy from Walt Disney World reels, pictures, videos, everything. I'm at BR Guest Mike on Instagram and Twitter. So follow me at both locations. And don't forget, Be Our Guest Pod as well on Instagram. We want to get some followers over there as well. Also follow Ricky at Ricky Nips for all of her information over there. She'll keep you up to date with everything going on there. And no live show this Sunday because I'll be down in probably hardly vertical after the Dopey Challenge Sunday night. We'll see. Scott and I'll be having fun on social media though, so follow us there because that'll be, I'm sure, way more entertaining than a call-in show. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday with a fun show. We're going to resolve to bring you a great podcast on Friday. So
that'll be a first.
We'll try. I mean, 2,200 shows.
Yeah.
So, until we get back together again, for Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Travel safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Okay, let me say that one.
Yay.
Man, it's hot in here. Ooh.
Hey, go figure. The cord that I told you about is being dropped off at my house like any minute now.
Which cord?
Remember how I told you that I think that there's a short in the cord that I have for my microphone? I think that's part of the problem. The cord that I ordered is on its way here right now. It is a few stops away. So
I watch the Amazon guy. Episode. I watch the Amazon guy drop stuff to the wrong house twice this afternoon when I was
that's fun.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I saw people go next door twice just around the lake.
It's always helpful, isn't it? Yeah. This is the sign of me. Already I ordered. Let's see here. The cord, and I ordered diapers. So there's that. I'm getting ready. I'm already ordering. Actually, I take that back. I ordered wipes. I ordered the diapers from Costco. So
Scott's coming in, and we can start. So we're going to do our resolutions for Disney trips in 23.
Okay.
Check. The Rose Bowl.
Oh.
I want to go to a Rose Bowl sometime. That looks so cool.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Hang on. Scott needs 2 minutes. So
okay. I can do that. Oh, that's a cute dress. Oh, hello, box lunch.
I should have edited that one real quick, but that's okay. On-screen agenda. I'll just change this real quick.
How much are you? Not bad.
17, 18. Of that. Okay, what am I doing? I got my phone. I can turn that heat down because we got a Wi-Fi thermostat now, so let me do that.
That's funny.
That's the only good thing about the thing going down. It's only 67. It's 59 outside. It says it's thunderstorming.
It was raining here earlier. It was gross.
It's thunderstorming. Doesn't look like it. Oh man, I'm so hungry. We're going to Qatar tonight. I can't wait.
Nice.
No, that place rocks.
That's awesome.
I gotta hustle out of here.
I'm probably making hamburger helper, so.
I do love hamburger helper. I haven't had that in forever.
It's just easy for right now.
What about for existing customers? Is he okay? I know all the commercials.
Such a dork.
That lady was in Good Luck Charlie. That's in that commercial.
Oh my gosh. That's too funny.
Do. I had those shorts.
I can't decide if I want to buy that dress or not.
Well, let's see if I got any followers. Let's see my followers. Nope.
Well, no followers.
Let's see if we got any on Instagram.
Okay.
Let's see. Look, watch.
Oh.
And that's Twitter. This will be Instagram. Nope.
Nice. That's awesome.
We're still stuck on that.
Yeah.
Facebook's next. The Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Be our guest one. Let's see if we got any more in there.
How long does it take?
It goes next. Here it goes.
Oh.
Guest fans.
Nice. That is awesome.
That little thing's fun.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
And he does news every hour. So like when I come in and
Oh.
read the news, see who died. Everybody's been dying lately, so it's pretty much been that. Like Anita Pointer.
Oh yeah, she did die.
I had the Pope. I had no idea though that was like what that was.
No, that's really not been. I feel like that's not been talked about a lot. I feel like that one.
If you die at the same time as the Pope, you know it's bad luck.
Well, Barbara Walters died at the same time as
Barbara Walters. I mean, because they're like huge people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Len, that was a great show that your wife did. That was so fun. You should have been on it though, Len, with her. Oh, your mom's listening on her walk.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm so glad because like when I knew we were going to Qatar, like I haven't eaten much because I'm saving.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do it either.
They give you so much food.
That's exactly. Like
I always leave there and I'm in pain.
Yeah, I get that. Brian and I have a really good place that's near us now that is down the street.
Scotty G.
Hello. Dude,
How
it
are
said
you?
like my camera was occupied by some other
Okay,
app.
I thought it was just me because it said that to me too. Okay, maybe it's a mic thing.
So I don't know what was up. So I just like came back in and boom, there I am.
That's how it fixes it for me too.
Did you get a haircut? Or did you shave?
Boom, did it today.
I say, yeah,
I trimmed up a little.
Yeah, I say you're looking, yeah.
I like it.
Ready.
I wanted a little bushier for the marathon, so I was like, instead of doing it like tomorrow, I'm going to do it a few days earlier, so it has time to grow in a little bit.
I'm saying, yeah, you look.
Hey, Mike, refresh your Twitter one.
Would you just not follow me?
No, refresh the Twitter feed.
What do you mean?
No, on your little thingy in the background.
It scrolls by.
Oh, okay. Well, we hit a milestone. Because somebody messaged us.
5,600 or something?
Somebody messaged us. So thanks, Jessica.
Should update on the next. The next time it goes through, it should be on there.
Thanks, Jessica.
It goes by like every 3 minutes.
Gotcha.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Our 2023 Disney Parks resolutions. Got to do this fast because I got to get to Mallory's dinner.
Park resolutions, man. All right, I got to come up with something. Okay.
All right.
I was not expecting to
Come
record.
on, Scott. You and I can both do this.
Check this
We've been
thing out,
doing this long.
I got this thing.
We can come up with
I love that I have
stuff.
a task. Look. So it's like a whiteboard. It's like a mini whiteboard.
Oh my gosh.
And so it sits here under my monitor. So now I even took notes.
So you actually figure out shows ahead of time and also take notes. Good for you.
Yes.
Sweet. So me and Ricky would just listen to you list all yours off.
So I'll be like, I'm doing all three of mine first, and nobody can jack mine.
Yeah. Well, I don't think yeah, that's good.
These are things I want to do in parks in 2020.
Or
cruise,
resorts,
just Disney
or-
destination.
Okay.
All right.
Disneyland. I'm not going to Disneyland. I'm going next
No.
year to Disneyland, but
Oh, look, somebody's already going to Disneyland next year. He's already said it.
I've decided it's going to be like cruise one year, Disneyland the next year. But I'm going to do a Disneyland race. So if there's Disneyland races, no matter what, I'm signing up for that, even if I have to rob it.
Limp your way across the finish line.
I don't care because I've never done one. I still want to.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's get going. So this will be 2218. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2218 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you, or otherwise known as Happy 10K Day. Hopefully you're having a good dopey challenge weekend is you're down there if you're taking on the challenges, or if you're down there for just a race or two. Hopefully you're having a great experience with that. Hopefully the expo was fun, not virtual, but fun. You got all the merch you were looking for. If you've hit that already, maybe you're hitting that today or tomorrow if you're just coming in for the longer races this weekend. And we're going to all be out there cheering for each other, running with each other out there on the courses, through castles, through, well, we're not going to talk about Osceola Parkway right now. That's for later, but
yes,
we're going to have a good time this weekend. And so I can't wait to see everybody. Make sure you come up and say hello. If you're running the races, we would love to say hi, and we're going to have a great time. So hopefully everybody has made it down to Central Florida at this point. Man, I know everybody was sweating bullets last weekend. Let's hope that has not replayed itself this weekend. Of course, we're recording live or early, so we have this ready to go for your feed well before we all get there. So also, countdown to the podcast cruise, 178 days. So we all sail together on the Disney Wish. All right, so let's get ready for a fun show. I resolved to bring you a great show, and that's what we're doing today. So joining me today from themouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, happy Friday. What's going on?
Happy Friday. Yes. Just cheering on virtually here, all the runners who are running this weekend. Like I said on Wednesday, I so wish I was going to be there. It's one of my favorite weekends to be at Walt Disney World, and I promise sooner rather than later I will get back for a marathon weekend. Obviously, being pregnant, probably not the best time for me to be, trying to run around, get up early, cheer for people.
Excuses.
Yeah, I know, right? Gosh, just that old chestnut. But hopefully soon I can get back down there to cheer for the runners, because it is one of my favorite weekends to be in Walt Disney World. The camaraderie, the excitement, everything. It's a whole different animal, marathon weekend is. So good luck to all the runners. As a fellow runner, I'm retired now. But as a fellow runner at one point, I've been there marathon weekend. I ran races marathon weekend. It's a lot of fun. So you're going to have a blast. So, yeah.
I should be retired, but I'm still stupidly out there doing this. Like I think I'm Tom Brady. Maybe
yes.
I should have retired, and
you should have retired, and then you didn't, and you're like, oh man, this
could be my 6-10 season this weekend.
Yes,
it could be an Osceola Parkway. Like, dang, no, why did I change my mind? I don't know.
Right?
Anyway, also joining us, it's my brother from another mother. We're gonna have a good time this weekend. Either way, Scotty Gardner from up in the mid. What's up, Scott?
Happy to be here on a Friday. But in addition to this being the Walt Disney World 10K, which is my favorite race,
it is a great
whole
race.
Run Disney catalog. You got Princess, you got Springtime, Wine and Dine. And my favorite race is the Friday 10K. It's the only Friday 10K we get in the whole calendar.
Yep.
Sure.
10K is my favorite distance. So this is my favorite race of the entire year. I hope everyone had a great job. But most importantly, the after party, the after race, I'm winning the BOGP inaugural mini golf open today. So have fun playing for second today, because the title is mine.
I was going to say that, Happy Gilmore. Are you ready? I mean, that was going to be, we got to talk business first. It's a business trip. We're down for the races. But I mean, really, the reason we're there is to putt-putt.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason I'm there. Let's be real. Like some people, I run in polos for crying out loud because I'm ready to play golf. So,
yes, this is true.
So
yes.
I'm focused more like, yeah, I'm gonna finish the 10K, but like when I'm doing my 10K at 5:30 in the morning, I'm concentrating on what am I gonna do on hole 3 later on today. You know, like that hole 3 is gonna be the key to me. You know, if I get a hole in 1, I'm winning. If I get a 6, I'm out. So
today's the day you want to avoid all snowmen. Snowmen are bad.
Yes.
Big courses or mini golf. And remember, it's all about geometry. It's all it is. It's about velocity and geometry. And you can bring home the title. And
I did terrible in geometry. So yeah.
And let's just hope. I know we're doing this a little bit in advance, but let's just hope right now the weather is beautiful.
No, you did not. See, I've been watching.
You said tromboning me? No.
Oh, you're killing me. Because I've been watching and it looks awesome. But the thing is, I was not going to say a word. I'm like, we've almost made it. Like, this is the last show we're going to record before we leave, and nobody has said a word about the W. And there you go. Oh,
no, the W is me on the golf course.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay, so everybody, if it happens, you heard it. You just did it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we're gonna have some fun here. Of course, it is the beginning of the year. We're looking forward to a lot of fun in 2023. Like I said, 178 days from now, a bunch of us are getting on the Disney Wish for the podcast cruise. We've done that so many times before. This one is on a new ship. We're going to have so many fun new activities with the podcast. It's going to be great. So that's one of the things we're going to do here this year. A lot of other fun trips we're going to have throughout the year. But I thought looking into 2023, we would kind of all go through just 3 resolutions that we have for our Disney trips. What are we going to do maybe that we're going to try to maybe do something differently, something better, maybe avoid a pitfall that we made over the past year or 2 on our Disney trips we want to make sure we don't do in the past. So, Ricky, give us a resolution you might have for any Disney destination in 2023. Let's go through these. And we're not going to take a lot of time. We're just going to hit some topics. Maybe it'll help people plan better trips.
All right. Well, I think my first resolution is probably pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna take a baby into Walt Disney World in 2023. So at some point in 2023, I will have a child with me at Walt Disney World that is my own. So that's never happened, obviously, before. And it's going to be a whole new ball game for me. And it's going to be a whole new learning experience. I'm going to learn a whole lot. And I know that that's going to be a huge resolution in 2023 is really kind of learning a whole new way to Walt Disney World, because that's going to be me next year, a whole new way to Walt Disney World. So
yeah, I mean, you're going to have so many new things just because of circumstance.
Yes,
it's super exciting for you.
I'm going to learn, the ins and outs of, having a stroller, the ins and outs of the I'm going to have a resolution to go to all 4 baby care centers.
Yeah.
Maybe experience that. I've never done that before. No, it's just I'm gonna learn so much about traveling to Walt Disney World with an infant, and what things to look out for, what things to that are pitfalls and everything like that, and watch as you guys laugh at me, which is gonna be what
absolutely.
happens.
I'm gonna be laughing my butt off over the next few years. I am so excited. No, I'm excited because you guys are gonna be great parents, but I mean, it's just it's work, man.
Of course, the one resolution that I think is going to be the nearest and dearest to my heart, though, is of course she's going to have to meet Mickey Mouse, right? I mean, that's going to be like the biggest thing that we have to do. So, definitely meeting Mickey Mouse is going to be one of the that I'm getting cry just thinking about it right now.
All right, easy. We gotta give 3. Okay, Scott.
I know. Yeah.
I know. I don't want you crying. Can't have crying
in
January.
No. Yeah. No, it's too early. Yeah.
Save that for later. Okay, Scott. Give your first resolution for a Disney trip this year.
So I'm actually gonna tie it because you're doing this because a new year resolution. I'm gonna tie that into my first answer here. So this is a weird week, Mike. So it's Monday at the time of recording. We fly down Wednesday. I'm working 1 day this week on Tuesday. So like, I just had 3 days off. I'm about to work 1 day, and then I'm going to have 5 off.
Like, you're killing me with that, man. Yeah. I've been working like a dog.
But I should be down in Florida, right? Like, why didn't I just take the full 10 days off and be down there? Which is what we did like in 2017. but the way the marathon calendar looks for next year, and the fact I'm quite sure Emily will have that week off of school. That's why I'm not down there. Let's be real, because Emily goes back to school tomorrow too.
Right.
But
yeah.
So for 2023, like that week of like New Year's, I want to be down there, and I've never seen Magic Kingdom New Year's fireworks. So they do it on the 30th. Like we're always at Epcot for the 31st. So I would in 2023 like to witness the Magic Kingdom New Year's fireworks. That's my first resolution.
That's a good one, because I also have never seen the Magic Kingdom fireworks for New Year's. And I know they do a spectacular. I've seen them online because you know they've done the live streams, but I've never seen them in person. And I think that would be a great thing to experience.
Yeah. So the goal is to kind of look at the calendar, book that trip, make sure I can get there for the 30th, because I got to be at Epcot on the 31st.
Yeah, you have to be at Epcot for the 31st. Yeah.
So I'd like to see both New Year's fireworks shows in the year 2023.
I'll try to make that happen too. But again, the girls will probably have to fly home for a marathon, but maybe they can come down and we could do New Year's, because we haven't done New Year's there. But we've done that though, the double whammy for New Year's, because we used to, a long time ago, because we were both school teachers, we go down, like on the 26th and stay through, like the second or third.
Yeah.
Because that was like our, only time we could travel. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Looking forward to that, because I miss being there at New Year's. Like I love being at Epcot. I love that vibe. Cool. That's my favorite day. It's
such a great day. It is so much fun to be at Walt Disney World on New Year's.
It's bonkers. I love that old handle, right? Epcot New Year's Eve. That was my favorite Twitter handle ever.
Yes.
But and I've missed it the last 3 or 4 years because of the way marathon's been. Like this year could have been a good year, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. So I'm gonna make that happen though in 2023.
All right. My first resolution, this one, again, Scott helps me with this one. So my first resolution is to try one new restaurant every trip. Whether it's Disneyland, even Disney Cruise, try a different, and this is going to be easy on the Wish, because obviously all the restaurants are new to me. But, when I go to Walt Disney World, because when I've gone places, especially when I'm with Scott and I'm solo, because that gives me better opportunity to try new places. But this, this could be a counter service restaurant, right? Because my family, my girls, tend to just like the same places that are really safe all the time. But when I'm there, for all my trips, and I get to go down, for Princess, that'll be a solo trip. Spring Surprise will be solo. I'm going down for an agent thing in February, so that'll be a different trip. But when I've gone places like Jico, my family would never go to Jico, or we went to Citrico's at one time, right, Scott? That's where we went.
We've been in Narcoossee's.
See, I don't even know.
But guess what? You are going to get Citrico's in like 2 days.
There you go.
See, I knew I was checking that one off on this trip, so this weekend. So, but the thing is, and like I went to why am I the Riv? What am I?
Topolino's.
Topolino's. My family would not go there probably.
Yeah.
And I've had great experiences. Like it just adds to your, not only as a traveler, your knowledge base, but it just adds to like, I've had different kinds of foods. I've had different kinds of atmospheres, different kinds of views, just the feel of the place. I love that. I think it's a great resolution to get, even if it's counter service though, if you've never been to Pinocchio's Village House, the Magic Kingdom, try it once. If it's not the greatest experience, at least you've been there. Give it a shot.
I love that. And obviously, I think dining is one of the more important things of a Disney trip. You're on vacation. You should splurge a little bit, have some meals, that's where you have like good conversation with friends and family. And that's why I love seeing, like, it's a bummer when a restaurant closes sometimes for a change, but it also brings the opportunity that a new restaurant's coming, so we get to try something different. Right. So I'm 100% with you.
Sure, Scott, when the cake bake shop opens, that you bring Mike there and have tea.
Ooh.
I think that would be the greatest resolution ever. Tea with Scott and Mike at the cake bake shop.
We've all done the
I know you've done afternoon tea.
We've done high tea at the Grand Floridian, and that was one of the greatest experiences ever. I tore up those sandwiches that day.
I think this will be a very different experience, by the way, Mike.
I'll tell you, the tea's a little hot on your lap, though.
That's the greatest. When you pour the tea on your pants.
There you go. That's I don't think you're supposed to do that. Yeah.
So Scott missed Wednesday show. He'll have to hear it, but Scott, you got to agree with me. Like, they tore down ESPN Club during the bowl week. I mean, like, come on now. Like, do that after college football.
That's over. Like a serious troll, right? Like,
what are they doing? Like, it's so bad.
That's kind of a heartbreaker.
It is. Whoever's doing that is just wrong. Okay, so Ricky, give us number 2.
So number 2 kind of does go to what we're doing in July. And that is going to be, I'm going to finally get to sail on the Wish. Last year I a number of cruises on the Wish that I had to cancel. Rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad, I definitely had to cancel those cruises. But with that being said, I'm still sad that I haven't been on the Wish yet. I have 2 cruises, hopefully, that are still happening on the Wish. So one is obviously the podcast cruise, and then the other one is actually a cruise with Brian in August. I'm literally doing back-to-back months on the Wish, hopefully. So, it's definitely a resolution to get on that ship because, that's going to be so. I missed out on so much, I feel like, by not being able to experience the Wish, right after she set sail. And the more I hear about her, the more excited I get about sailing on her. So I'm excited to get to sail on her twice this year. Hopefully this actually goes through this time.
I'm missing the podcast cruise because of COVID, we had to miss that cycle, because we do another year. So this will be
this will be great. So I mean, I'm pretty well for certain that I have to go on the one with Brian. I know that sounds weird, but I've actually already paid for it. I don't get my money back, so I have to go on that one. I've already spent the money on it, so I have to go on the one in August. And I'm really hoping that everything works out so that I do get to. I'm planning for sure on going on the podcast cruise. I will have a baby, but she will not be going. So just a heads up, you guys won't get to meet the baby on the cruise. But that'll be.
We took Mallory when she was young, and it was. I mean, because we did 12 nights with her when she was a baby, and that was a lot. So
yes,
and it was 7 nights on Royal and 5 nights on.
She will be too young to go on the podcast cruise.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, Scotty G's second resolution for 2023.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things I did in 2022 at Walt Disney World was go to the Typhoon Lagoon afterglow party. I love Typhoon Lagoon. That's the only water park I've been to. I've been there twice. And I've enjoyed it both times, but something about being in a water park at night is so awesome. Right. It's one of my favorite memories of the year, actually. So never been to Blizzard Beach. So what I would like to do in 2022 on one of these trips is do 6 parks, not in one day. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 6 parks in one trip. So obviously we'll go to all 4 theme parks like we normally do, but I want to go to both water parks on the same trip as well. Just kind of get that full Walt Disney World vibe. So go to Blizzard, go to Typhoon, do the other 4 theme parks. I think that'd be kind of fun to do all of those on the same trip. Have you ever done that, Mike?
Actually, I have, because back when we used to go and you used to get the ultimate park hopper, we would go to the water parks all the time because they were included in your tickets. And we would always go to Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. What we would do is we would usually go to one of the water parks in the morning, take an afternoon break, and go to Magic Kingdom at night and watch Spectrum Magic, fireworks, do rides, stuff like that. And we loved it, and ever since they took away, that all-inclusive ticket with Magic Your Way.
Yeah.
Mallory's never been to a water park at Walt Disney. Never, because you got to pay extra for it, right? We have animal classes that don't include it. And so I was, I'm tight. So I just never paid for it. But I mean, they're great experiences. I do love Typhoon. Typhoon's my favorite, but Blizzard Beach is a lot of fun too.
So Typhoon, always, every time I've been there, I've been like, man, I feel like I'm Castaway Key. You know what I mean? I get this Castaway Key vibe. And my family isn't the biggest water park fans. It's hot, right? And we're not, we'd rather just be chilling at the pool instead of doing crazy slides and stuff. But there's something about that vibe. It's fun. Granted, the nighttime vibe for that special events is totally different than a midday thing. But I would love to see Blizzard Beach in the middle of the day. And I don't know, it's just, it's fun to me. I just wish my family was more on board with it, but you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to make it happen in 2023.
That's kind of another thing that I hated that I had to cancel this year is I had tickets to go to the after hours Typhoon Lagoon event as well. And it sounds so amazing. Everything that you talked about and everything like that. I was super pumped about getting to go. And then obviously I didn't get the chance to, but like you, I haven't been to, like Mike, I haven't been to a water park in probably about 15 years or so. It's been a long time. So, I definitely think that that's a really good resolution to get back to the water parks and go to all 6 parks. I think that's a really great experience for you guys.
Typhoon Lagoon, RIP sunglasses in the wave pool.
Right.
Just saying.
But dude, it's funny watching people. I think I've told the story before where I just wiped out an Australian family.
Oh, yeah.
Man, on that wave pool. And they were so kind about it. They're like, "Oh," I was like, "So
It's
so
okay.
sorry, I just knocked out your whole family." Like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay."
Are you okay?
Yeah.
No, I just killed your family because I just got the tsunami.
This like 250-pound redhead guy just like came blasting through with a wave. So much fun.
Totally. It's a free for all, that thing. Okay, my second resolution, pretty simple. This one I've thought about, and I like this idea. Just for 1 year, for this calendar year, I'm going to make 0 room requests on any.
Hey,
I'm not going to make
that.
any room requests. I'm going to let fate decide where my room is on every single trip. Now I'm going down for marathon weekend. I'm going down twice in February. I don't even know where I'm staying the one stay because I'm going with the agency and they haven't told me yet. But I'm staying at Coronado, the second one for Princess. I'll be down for Spring Surprise. We're going for the podcast cruise, and then who knows later on in the year. But I'm not going to make any room requests because here's the thing. When I haven't made them just because of like circumstances, because i.e. I forget, like a lot of times I get a room where I'm like, it's a pretty good room. Like I would have never requested this room, but I like it. Like, you know, it's got pluses that I would have never thought about, you know, it would have been like a part of the resort I would have never asked for, you know, but I like it, you know, so I'm just going to let fate decide. And you know what? I mean, there's not really horrible rooms at any of the resorts I stay at, Pop Century, Coronado, you know, whatever. But I'm just going to let fate decide. And it's kind of exciting in a way just to see what you're going to get. And, you know, it could be your favorite new place in the resort. So in 2023, no room requests for me. Just going to let fate decide.
I'm a big fan of that because I like to just be surprised, as you were kind of saying, you know, like, and sometimes I've noticed when you put in a room request, sometimes you might not get your check-in time till like late in the day.
That's
you know? Like I just want, give me the first available. It's like at a restaurant, you know, like I'll take the first available. I don't care where it is in the restaurant. And like, I'm kind of like nerdy with stuff like this, but like I keep track of like every resort stay we've ever had, and I like had the room number and where the location was, and it's kind of fun to see that get filled up with different areas of a resort, you know. So I'm all for it, Mike. I love that. I love that one.
And I resolved to put on the online check-in. Yes, my plane will land at 6 a.m. when it lands.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
I still do that.
Yeah, me too.
So you won't change that though, right?
Well, no.
Your resolution won't be honest with your arrival time.
No, definitely not.
I'd say I'm going to be honest in 2023 with that. So
Yeah.
I'll learn to be ready because I'm tired. I'm old, dude. I need when that room's ready at 9:30 in the morning, I'm going to try out the bed. All right, Ricky, give us your final resolution for 2023.
You know, I think this is again, it's just kind of a fun resolution. But I think it's something that all of us are kind of excited about doing. And I'm going to resolve to, it's going to be a 2-part thing. So one, I'm going to resolve to ride Tron because it's going to finally be open after forever. You know, it only took them 20 years to build it, but that's fine. It's going to be a great attraction to get to experience. But you know, the other thing that I'm going to resolve to do is I am going to resolve to ride the train. I haven't ridden the train in years, partially obviously because it's been down for, you know, a bajillion years too, but it's just not something that I made a priority a lot of times. And so I feel like, you know, again, with the baby and things like that, making sure that we ride the train is going to be a definite priority. I want to see the experience through the Tron tunnel. Let's go with Tronel. I like it.
Remember, when you go through it, you got to go. Ooh.
Yes. Okay. So forever that the Tron tunnel will be known as the Tronel. I like it. Let's go with it. And so, yeah, I think that it's just going to be a great experience to be back on the train and kind of feel, I mean, I know it wasn't, you know, Walt didn't ride that one, but, you know, it still feels like Walt in a weird way. So I really want to kind of experience that. So yeah, I want to experience Tron and I want to experience the Tronel.
I'm so glad they brought the train back in time for marathon weekend because it's like neat. Benches are awesome at marathon weekend, but benches that move like the Jungle Cruise and like the train. Perfect.
This is true.
It was fun watching it from our contemporary balcony room, and it was just like teasing me the whole time. Now I know. Now I get to experience it again.
Yeah.
There's awesome lines for that thing at marathon weekend.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I might not even go to a theme park. I don't even know, man. If I got like the gurgling suitcase and Olivia's, like I might really. I might just be at Old West the whole time.
But I do want to ride the train. So
yeah, I have to do
I'm like a 90-year-old dude. You're like, oh, let's go ride the train to the Magic. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. Let's go.
Then I'll leave.
Didn't even get past Town Square.
I'll get a photo on Main Street and then go hop the train, go around, and then all right, let's take a boat to Great Floridian Cafe.
Yeah. How far'd you get? I didn't even get past Town Square. I didn't get past the train station. I never really got it. I didn't even make it to the Emporium.
This man has been riding the train for 16 hours.
Right?
Exactly.
It's just still here.
Actually, the train.
It.
Unfortunately, the train doesn't run 16 hours. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, but
I know.
yeah, try.
Wouldn't it be sweet if that was like an after night experience? Like you could just ride the train. Like the train always ran. So like at 3 a.m, you can't sleep or whatever, you can ride the train.
Just go get on the train. Okay.
Yeah, all that. All right, Scott, give us your last one. What you got?
All right. So with resolutions, like I feel like they got to be challenging too, right? You just don't want to be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna do this. Because I actually wrote down like
clearly I didn't make mine challenging this year.
I was gonna be like try a new resort, but I know I'm trying a new resort during the podcast cruise, so I feel like that's cheating. So I'm gonna challenge myself with this one. Out of Disneyland, I've stayed at the Disneyland Hotel in Grand California, and I love both of those resorts. I would love to try to stay in 2023 at the remodeled Paradise Pier hotel, which I believe is opening in 2023.
Yes, it is, as far as I know.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's what I want to do. I want to knock out my trifecta of Disneyland property resorts and stay at that resort in 2023.
So along with that, because we know, and we don't have any details yet, but the Run Disney races are going to return to Disneyland. So I got to make sure that I mean, again, I think it's going to be like a lottery to get one of those bibs because
I'm
the demand
sure
is going to be so high. But I so want to do that because that's one of my biggest regrets is that I wasn't going to Disneyland back then, and now I just got to run in California. So
I'm gonna start lobbying, tweeting at like high executives, that I need a bib.
I mean, please,
or like threaten to
let's
do like a smear campaign on social media if they don't let me in.
No, I wouldn't do that. Let's bid on those things, man. I'm ready. Like for whatever I got to do because I got.
Could you imagine like if they did like a bib, like an auction?
Yeah, oh my gosh, that would be insane. Yeah.
Okay, so my last one, and this is one that I want everybody to kind of jump on this year. This is kind of my resolution as I was thinking about this, but it's also a challenge to our listeners, to our audience, our podcast community. I'm going to make sure, because I do this occasionally, but I think I just forget about it. And again, it's one of those things that at the beginning of the year, you're always seeing people saying, getting you motivated with, it's like, just trying to be your better self for the new year. But as I'm at the Disney destinations, I'm going to make sure that I give one cast member compliment via social media every day of my trip, every trip. And I'm going to try to be intentional with it to make sure that I don't just get home and be like, oh man, I really did have a good cast member at 50's Primetime Cafe, but I didn't give him a shout out like via the social media channels or, swing by City Hall or guest relations at the studios or whatever. I want to make sure that I do what I can to look for great service, which isn't hard to find at Walt Disney World. To look for great cast members, but then in turn, don't just keep that, candle under a bushel, as they say in some of the songs, give it out, tell people about it. And use the proper social media challenges, the hashtag cast compliment, use the account and let people know about that. Because I think it's fun for when I'm at home and I see people giving out cast compliments, here in St. Louis for somebody that's currently on a vacation at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, what have you. It gets me excited because I like hearing the little, somebody saved my trip by, figuring out a ticket situation at City Hall at the Magic Kingdom. Well, that, I've been there and I'm like, man, that is a huge deal because you're sweating bullets. Like you can't, oh my gosh, I can't get in tomorrow because it looks like all my tickets are used up. I know I've been there. And so I'm going to try to make it intentional to always, shout out at least one cast member because you can find it every day, whether it's a server at the Grand Floridian Cafe or, somebody, a cast member at Pop Century's food court, because they can be, that person can be awesome and just make your day. Not a free thing, just somebody that does their job efficiently, that is very friendly and kind and just is happy about their position. And so I'm going to make sure I do that every day of my trip and just make sure that I don't forget. Because I think it's the thing is we all have great intentions, especially when we're at home. But I mean, and I think we all agree, like when you get to Walt Disney World, time speeds up so fast. Like you're there and all of a sudden you're getting on, you're heading back home and like, oh, I meant to do this. And then it's over. Mm-hmm. But I think if you set intentional goals to make sure, and like, that's why I'm saying it out loud, that I want to make sure I give a cast compliment every single day of my trip. So I'm going to start that with this trip down there. So
that's a great one, Mike. I like it.
Do it. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. So, and here's what I want as we get through this weekend. Share your resolutions with us on social media. So you can go over to the Facebook page. Remember, we've got a great Facebook page. It's Be Our Guest Podcast. To search for that and like it on Facebook. You can leave those there. And also on Twitter, I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. And of course, on the Instagram, you can also on the reels there, the comments, you can give us your resolutions and we'll share those. And you can also give us email. So Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. We can share those next week. I'd love to hear what you maybe 1, 2, or 3 quick resolutions you have for 2023, because when we share these, we all make each other's vacations better. So I'm excited. I mean, we're getting ready to head down to Walt Disney World. Scott, you're headed out as we're recording here very, very soon. So you packed, you're ready to go. You got your throwaway stuff and all that good stuff. You ready to rock?
I don't have any throwaway stuff. I don't think I need it, to be honest. But
I hate being cold. So, I mean, I'm bringing it. If I don't use it, I'll just bring it home and throw it under the bed.
And if I have to, I can get something with the car, right? When we do our Publix
That's true.
run. I am going to try to pack tonight because, you know, we go back to work for a day, Emily, then we got to drop her off to my in-laws. And like, that's always tough because she loves my in-laws. She loves it. Like, but she'd rather just be at home with her stuff, you know? And that's what bugs her. Like having to go to a different house for a week is kind of rough.
Yeah, I get that.
So we got to try to do something with that. Try to soften the blow in there a little bit. That's my biggest concern, man. Like once I can get Emily like dropped off to my in-laws and then boom, then I'm on vacation.
I know, I hear you, because I love going down there for the lizards, but it is hard being away from the family for so long. Like, yeah, I mean, there's so
we're gonna miss Emily like crazy. I mean, because you know how, and you're the same way. Like, man, we do like everything together. So
right.
It's weird when we're like not with her. Like we're kind of unusual with her. I know a lot of couples like will still like take trips without their kid or whatever. Like we don't.
I never
so
have.
It's really
I've
weird.
never once, except for these solo trips to run. Yeah. Like my wife and I've never gone anywhere, just us.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird.
So bizarre. So anyway,
so doing some packing tonight. But I was gonna say I'm gonna stick with you, like because most of the time you're at Walt Disney World, I'm with you. So I'm gonna be checking in with you on this resolution every day. Like, have you sent that cast compliment? You know?
Yeah. So we'll be doing that, and that's how I look at it. Like it's a solo trip, but it's never a solo trip because like you and Elizabeth are my family down there, so we'll be together. So it's not. It's going to be awesome. So I can't wait to see you. We're going to be together. So make sure you follow us on social media. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RAKKINIBS. Scott's at Epscott, EPSCOT. Follow him. He puts out great content. You wonder how to make a great old fashioned, go back in his social media on Instagram. He did that on New Year's Eve. It was awesome. I'm going to have my first old fashioned this weekend.
Hey.
Be Our Guest Mike, Twitter and Instagram. So follow me over there. Of course, Be Our Guest Pod too. We're trying to pump up that account. So follow that as well. We'll be updating that as well over Marathon Weekend. And again, hashtag all your stuff, all the runners, hashtag run BOGP. Let me just give you a little hint too, real quick. If you have an iPhone, if you want to put your hashtags in where you only have to type them in once, people ask me about this all the time. If you go into your settings and go to general and then go to keyboard, there's an option called text replacement. You can put in all your hashtags and then you put a shortcut. So what I put is whenever I like after my runs every morning, I just type run tag, RUNTAG to fill in all my hashtags, so and I have a B tag, BTAG, which is all my just kind of podcast stuff. So if you want to do that in preparation for Marathon Weekend for all your fun hashtags like run BOGP, there's your Apple tip of the day. Go into general or settings, general, keyboard text replacement, and it's easy.
And what's fun about the hashtags? So like I used to like hate hashtags. I would hate it when people would use them. I'm like, this just like waters down the post. Like how am I supposed to read what they're saying with all these hashtags? But it's cool now because we've had that Run BOGP one for like several years. Right. And it's cool to click on it and you see all these like cool photos from like years ago tagged to it. So use it. You might think it's silly now, but like 3 or 4 years from now, then you'll be looking at, Marathon Weekend 2023 and be like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I agree. They're kind of ugly in the post, but the utility of them is nice to go back and see everything that's related. So, all right. So don't forget our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Again, shout out to Kathy and Michelle covering for my guests while I'm down at Marathon Weekend. Appreciate you guys so much. Check them out over at themagicforless.com for all your Disney vacations. Please use our Amazon affiliate link as you shop online, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our patrons for supporting the show, for allowing us to put the show out 3 to 4 times a week, every single week. Couldn't do it without you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, we're going to get out of here and we'll be back again on Monday. We've got another trip report lined up for you, so you won't miss that. And we'll have some great shows headed your way. Wednesday show is not going to be listener questions, already recorded. It's going to be a fun one. You're going to love that one. And next Friday, we're hoping we're going to record live interviews from Marathon Weekend on the spot, maybe from rides, maybe from restaurants. We're going to try to do live recordings. So you have one of those with all the Kim Possible like drops between the stuff, like old school, like we did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
A live old-fashioned review.
Right,
That's
exactly,
what we need.
Exactly. So hopefully next Friday's all live clips from Marathon Weekend 2023. So be ready. We got great stuff coming your way this year on the show. All right, time to get out of here and get ready to run. So for Ricky and Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend and an awesome Marathon Weekend 2023. Can't wait to see everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and run fast. Or
Awesome.
slow.
So Mike, I'm slow. So I think I've told you this before, and I know it's extra work, but like those are like some of my favorite episodes back in the day, man. When I listened to like just those like live footage, like you would like interview like a listener or something really quick, or just like give a quick like 2-minute update on something. I loved those episodes.
Those are my favorite. They're paying the butt, but we're going to do it though, because it's worth it. Because those are a hoot. So we'll do, but you just got to remind me to record, and you can do some too. So I'll show you. Just use voice memos on your phone.
Just use the voice memo.
Yeah, that's all I do. And then I'll put them together like on Wednesday or something when I get back. All right, I got to roll because I'm going to go to Kataro.
Enjoy.
Dude, I get to eat hibachi.
Is this hibachi? You going to a hibachi place?
Oh yeah,
nice.
Hibachi for her birthday with her friends. So
awesome, cool. Enjoy it, man.
Yep, have a good time. Good luck, guys.
And then I'll see you with a pub sub here in like 48 hours.
I can't wait.
Enjoy the race.
All right,
thanks, Ricky.
All right, bye, guys. See ya.